So it's a little bit windy out today, but here's the 77. So what we're going to be doing on this car is, this one's just a restoration, a little bit of modification here and there, but pretty much a restoration. I got the 350 in there. I'll show it to you in a second. But let's just talk about what's going on with this car. So this car, we bought both of these Corvettes as a deal. We got the one that's turning in the Helvet, mine, which is the 79, and then we got the 77, which is my mom's, that's being restored. So the driveline from the 79, mine, is going into hers. So that driveline's being restored, as this one came as a roller. So I got the transmission in there, the engine's done, but I gotta strip this down and get it to paint. So this is going off. Someone's going to remove the body from the frame for us, since this one's kind of on a shorter time frame than the Helvet. But the Helvet, I'm going to be doing everything myself. But that's beside the point. So I'm going to show you guys the engine, and then I'm going to show you what's going on with this car. So ignore the messy garage. We're trying to get everything situated, as we got an engine in there, engine here, 2 cars, all that fun stuff. But here's the 350. This was just at school with me as I was going through the machine process. Unfortunately, due to the privacy of other students, I can't record at the school in a large scale video. But I'll go over some of the stuff that I did to this. So as I mentioned earlier, this is the engine out of mine. It's just a normal 350. This one's bored 40 over now because it was worked on previously. So the block is original to my car, but everything else has been replaced. Ignore the janky wiring on the starter. We were trying to get it to run on the stand, but I had to get a timing light and some other parts. But these heads are Edelbrock E Streets. These are, I'm pretty sure, the cheapest set of 350 heads that you can get from Edelbrock. But what I did was I went through, did a valve job, which was really good that I did that, because from Edelbrock, each head had one exhaust seat that was not put all the way into the head. These were marketed as ready to run. If they were on someone's car, it would have blown the engine. So an overview of the engine. What I did is I took the block in. We found out it was already 30 over and machined very poorly by whoever did it last. I have no idea. But I went through the mains, got the mains align honed, which is basically making sure every main where the journals are, every main is in line with each other and the same size. All of them were within 3/10,000. It's very precise stuff whenever people are machining these. It's hard to display it over a video, but maybe one of these days I'll think of something in some way to display it. But I digress. We'll keep going. So after that, I went through and I honed it. Honing is just the cylinders where the pistons ride. Same thing, making sure they're all straight in line with the bottom of the block and making sure they're straight with themselves. No out of round. It has to be a perfect circle. It can't go like this as you're going down it. So all of that is also within 3/10,000. Probably the most known process of engine machining is surfacing, or decking the block. Basically what that is these surfaces right here and here, where the cylinder heads meet the block, have to be perfectly flat. The tolerances are a little bit more lenient than all the other processes, as it's about 0.002 to 1,000 across the entire deck. But what that does is that sets the height relative to your pistons, and that's one way you can get compression in an engine. So after that, I went and worked on these heads. Stock, I can put the flow numbers up here. The flow numbers, they're better than factory, but with a 350, that's pretty easy. So other than my little Edelbrock rant earlier, these aren't bad heads. Just make sure you go through heads whenever you get them and make sure everything's good. But these heads, I got them to flow pretty well. They flow better than the Performer RPM, which is one of the higher up levels of heads for 350s from Edelbrock. But with about, say about 4 hours of porting, I got them to flow better, along with the valve job, which that helps a lot. I also did some trick stuff to the manifold. It's kind of secret stuff, kind of not. I mean, no one really runs these competitively in this stage with the dual plane. But basically there's a little spine in here that goes in between the two planes of the intake. There's a higher and a lower. It goes across there, and normally they're split off from each other, but intakes have pulses and you want them to be able to communicate with each other. I'll explain that in a later video, but basically you take out a little bit of that and it improves throttle response and performance overall. So up top here we have a Holley Brawler, because Holley now owns Brawler, and it's a 650. It's custom built by a guy local to me, David Cook Carburetors. He's a very talented guy. Has a lot of high-end carburetors. This was a very easy job for him. But it's all custom built by him. Electric choke, manual secondaries, or mechanical, I'm sorry. And that's really the fancy stuff on this. The valve train's beefed up a little bit. It has a cam in it. Here are the specs. Nothing too crazy. Here's a better look at that Brawler. Now, as you can see here with carburetors, this is a mechanical secondary. If you don't know much about carburetors, which I really didn't before I went to school, these are your primaries. And then whenever you're really getting on the car, your secondaries will open. Now, whenever you're running a big cam, well, pretty much any cam that's a little bit rowdier than stock, you have to switch to mechanical, as vacuum issues can happen. Same thing back here. This is a mechanical advanced distributor, also with vacuum. It's obviously not put in. Don't have a timing light, and I need the strap or the hold down for it. But other than that, nothing too crazy. So now I get back to this old girl. Let me take the cover off real quick, and we'll talk about her. So here she is. If you saw my first few TikTok videos, it's obviously stripped down a little bit. Got this headlight bezel off, got a couple things off the bumper. Still got some more work to do on it. It's going off to paint towards the end of the month. But there's really not much to talk about up here. The engine bay's almost stripped down entirely. I gotta get the bumper off and the headlights out. So now we move on to the rest of the car. So the body on this one is straight. And I know in my TikTok videos everyone was like, oh, straight, glad the car's not gay. But I get it. Funny, haha. But for y'all who don't know, whenever you call a car straight, it refers to the frame. If it's been an accident, it gets bent. I know some people are joking, some people may not know, but there's some clarification. So as you can see, the fiberglass, there's not much fiberglass damage. This is pretty much surface level. The paint's really bad in some spots. Other spots, like this door, it's pretty good. Missing some panels. There's galling like this, but body shop's gonna take care of that. As you can see here, if you've seen the Helvet videos, my floor pans are gone. These, perfect shape. It's a little rough in here, but not too bad. As you can see, there's the wiring harness I pulled out. I gotta get little stuff like the e-brake out, the door handles, little stuff like that before it goes off to paint. And of course, it's not a C3 without T-tops. But this one, unlike the Helvet, is very solid, as you can hear by that door. Sounds like an old car door, looks like an old car door. It's in good shape. As you can see, the rear bumper, seen better days. There's some fractures in it. Don't worry about the exhaust pipes, it's getting side pipes. Staying. I know a lot of people commented on the S10 wheels. They're going, for sure. But I still have little stuff to remove in here. As you can see, this side's pretty much cleared out. I got a lot of the vacuum crap out of the front as we're switching to electric headlights, getting rid of all the vacuum actuated stuff. So all that stuff still has to be removed. But as we walk around here, you can see the rat's nest over here that we got to take care of. There's a vacuum canister that has to be removed. There's a regulator and a couple brake lines. But other than that, this one pretty solid. We're just waiting. We're just waiting until the end of the month where we get the frame back. Okay, had to wait for the wind to die down. So the plan with this car, it's pretty simple right now. Whenever it goes off to paint, he's removing the body from the frame and we're getting the frame back on a trailer. So all the work with the transmission, driveline, suspension and all that will be still going on while the body's in paint, and then this will go back to him whenever I assembled everything on the chassis and he'll drop the body on. So the plan after that is get the car back here and start working on interior, which there's going to be some lead time on ordering interior parts, so that may be a little slow of a process, but I wanted to make a video on this guy to show you what's going on with it. I've been busy lately with school and work, but I want to pursue this making videos. So I know the videos have been kind of slow, but as you know, I'm a full-time student, also working, so it's a little difficult right now, but I'm trying. This girl's going to be the first one up. She's going to be done first, but my plan for the Hellbent. Should probably make this a separate video, so that's what I'm going to do. Well, I really appreciate y'all watching. I know I tend to ramble on, trying to work on it, but we got the engine's done. A little couple things to get it running. Should be a video on that soon, either on TikTok or YouTube. Transmission's going to be rebuilt. I may do it, I may send it off, don't know yet. But that's the plan for the 77, my mom's car. Restoration, a little bit of customization. But I appreciate y'all watching. Stick around. It's going to be pretty fun. I'm going to start posting updates on Instagram, smaller videos on TikTok, trying to keep y'all up to date. Even though not a lot of major stuff is happening, I know a lot of people are invested in this, and so I wanted to share it with y'all. But thank y'all for watching. Stick around, subscribe, like the video, all that fun stuff.